All right. Triple G goes on to call Canelo Alvarez a fraud. It's nothing new there. I want to focus on that, but I want to focus on what he said about their last two fights. And this is what he said. Triple G believes that he was the winner of both their previous fights. Now, as a Triple G fan, as a Canelo fan, as a boxing fan, do you think Triple G won both fights? Do you think Canelo won both fights? Do you think it was 1-1? And if so, which one? The reason why I bring it up is because when it comes to the list of people that Canelo Alvarez could fight, a lot of people are saying that Triple G is the most dangerous fight. And I'm scratching my head trying to get people to explain to me where their logic is. Okay? Because the Triple G you might be talking about is not the Triple G of today. He is aged like milk and is very visible. Okay? So I would say out of the list of everybody, Triple G would be the easiest fight. But yet some people are saying this is his hardest opponent. I want to have somebody tell me how a old, aged out Triple G is more dangerous to a Canelo Alvarez than a young, hungry David Benavidez or Charlo or Andre. That's what I want to know, because I hear people keep saying it, and I'm like, are you serious? You think Triple G is more dangerous at this point in time than a David Benavidez? Really? So, I'm going to need you guys to explain that shit to me. And also tell me, do you think Triple G won both fights or lost both fights? Now, I can tell you my opinion on that, And even though I'm not a person that fancies Canelo, I'll be a person that always will say, and I'll stand by it, Canelo beat him in the second fight. The first fight, hey, that's up to debate between you Canelos and you Triple G fans. If any of you Triple G fans even exist no more, I don't know where y'all went to. Y'all kind of disappeared a little bit. But that's something I'm going to leave between you. But I can honestly say, from my perspective and my opinion and what I know about the sport in the game, Canelo beat him the second fight. First fight, like I said, you guys can toss over that. But the point is, you've already seen these guys fight twice. Already. And you want to see it for a third time, knowing that Triple G is aged out, knowing if one of the main reasons you guys saying that you want some of these guys to go fight somebody so they can earn a Canelo fight, so to speak. One thing I can say about Triple G is, even though he was a G for stepping in the ring with Canelo while he was juiced up, Triple G doesn't try to fight any tough opponents outside big payday fights. He doesn't. People been saying this about Triple G for years. Now it's utterly evident. Can't nobody deny it. So I'm wondering how fighting all these backstreet boys and all these soft opponents, how that equal to another shot versus people who's been sitting around for years. So people going to have to explain that one to me. Because, that's just something that I totally don't get. Now, people also saying that he's tougher than Charlo. Once again, people talk about Charlo, and they was basically like, well, Charlo will get his ass whooped. I'm like, where'd all this ass whooping blowout talk come from? Because for years, people have been asking to see Charlo versus Canelo. I've never heard Canelo will whoop Charlo's ass. All I heard is Charlo's a bum. He needs to earn a shot. He doesn't fight nobody. He needs to go fight Andre. People out there, am I lying? That's all you ever heard. Then, when they got into so-called fake negotiations, a negotiation was never going to go nowhere because I told you guys this was going to happen. Then all of a sudden, oh, he'll blow him out. He doesn't stand a chance. He doesn't stand it. That's a fucking lie. Okay? Because Canelo is staying away from Charlo just like he stayed away from fucking Lara. Everybody know he was supposed to rematch Lara, but he didn't do it. We all know if it was Floyd, Floyd would have did that shit. And they would have demanded it. But Floyd would have did it on his own. But somebody is so great. But Canelo Alvarez could have fought Lara again, but he didn't do it. Now, once you know who Lara's trainer is, then you can figure out why he stayed away from Charlo. Now, who's Laura's trainer? I don't know if he still is, but at the time it was Ronnie Shields. Okay. Who is Jamal Charlo's trainer? Ronnie Shields. You think they're not going to have a Beckett? You think they're not going to have a better game plan fighting him for a second time? You think that there's not some things that Laura picked up on that Ronnie Shields as a coach can use for Jamal Charlo in a fight with Canelo? Not only that, Canelo has problems with fighters who have a good old-fashioned 1-2. And say what you want about Charlo, Jamal Charlo has one of the best 1-2s in boxing. I can't speak on the rest of everything, but he has one of the best 1-2s in boxing. And if you think Canelo Alvarez is going to get in there and walk Charlo down, then you're so used to seeing people stand in front of Canelo and just freeze up. Nobody's really going to let Canelo walk them down because Canelo is not the walking down person, okay? Where did this power come from just out the blue in the middle age of his career? You go from that to walking people down. Usually when you got that kind of thing going on, you see it early on. It's not something that ain't something you develop in later years. You know, it's the same thing people were saying about Pacquiao. You don't get older and start knocking people out. You're going to see some kind of evidence of it all throughout your career. Then all of a sudden you just bulldozing through people and whatever and whatnot. You know, but he could have fought Law again. He didn't want to do it because of Ronnie Shields. The same reason he stayed away from fucking Charlo. Charlo is just as big a threat as anybody else. But if you ask me, the biggest threat, it ain't Charlo, because I'm no longer interested in seeing Charlo versus Canelo. And that's primarily because I don't like the activity level of Charlo. I don't like the opposition of Charlo. I don't feel like he tries to do shit outside of boxing. I look at Charlo the same way I look at Triple G. These guys fight. Matter of fact, wasn't they fucking fighting over the same fucking opponent? That's how you know these two guys is ducks. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting Paul Logan and Triple G's fighting some backstreet boy. I'm not interested in that shit. The fight that's the really toughest fight that'll really stand out, that'll really put a stamp on your legacy, would be something Mayweather-ish. Is fighting David fucking Benavidez at the end of the day. That's what the fuck I want to see. Andre, y'all been waiting too fucking long. I'm not interested no more. Charlo, y'all been waiting too fucking long. I've been stopped being interested. Now I'm currently interested in seeing David Benavidez because I believe that's the toughest fight. I believe that's the harder fight. I believe that's a fight that once you put this young cat down, you know what I'm saying, then you could stick your chest out a little bit. Then, you know, I could somewhat speak up for you, you know what I'm saying, and defend you and say, hey, he did take on that young lion, David Benavidez, who wasn't no joke, who wasn't this, who wasn't that. Then I can kind of lobby for you at that point. But that's the real fight that people want to see. Don't nobody want to see no Triple G. Some people want to see an Andre, but Benavidez will do way better numbers. You know what I'm saying? If we talk about a numbers game. But I just think it would just be a way better fight. People want to see Andre because it's long overdue. People want to see Charlo because it's long overdue. I want to see Benavidez because it's the new thing and I'm on with the new. You know? But that's my thoughts on this. I'm out.